storm has passed, the time is now to go to bed. You can do it somehow. The storm is gone, and maybe it's not too long until you rest your head, get some sleep, try to dream of something sweet. Thunder's gone, rain is coming down. If you look up to the sky, you see things are clearing now. Everything is gonna be okay, even when it's not. All storms pass eventually. Know you have a lot. You got me, you got mom, got all the things that you've become. Me, you got mom, got a loving home where you're from. You got me, you got mom, so love your family. You only get one, only get one. Storm has passed, the time is now to go to bed. You can do it somehow. Storm is gone, maybe it's not too long until you rest your head and get some sleep. Try to dream of something sweet. You're gonna be alright. You're gonna sleep just fine tonight, tonight, tonight. You're gonna sleep just fine. Tonight, gonna sleep just fine. Tonight, tonight. Storm has passed, the time is now to go to.
Hey everyone, Brennan here. Adam is away right now, so he can't come on the stream to cover this, but we do have an active tornado warning in Temagami. So I'm gonna take a look at the radar here and we'll figure out where the rotation is and we'll keep you updated on where it's going. So right now the area's concern is near Adenoc, Temagami, heading into Redwater eventually, Kenny, Otter, Martin River, and maybe eventually North Bay. Let's see where this is tracking. Yeah, because there is some pop-ups to the south of Sudbury, so we may see a bit there. But right now, I'm just going to switch over to velocity. And as you can see, the velocity scan is very colorful right now. And the area of concern right now is probably near Camp Cochrane to the south of Temagami, but the storm is going through Temagami and it is fairly strong. But the velocity is very messy up in that area, so it's kind of hard to tell what it's doing. Just flipping over to velocity here, so we continue to watch that. You can kind of see here that goes through Camp White Bear, Camp Chimo, Camp Bigwee. You can really see, I'll highlight it here on the map, so you can see this area right here near Camp White Bear, eventually heading into Martin River, is definitely the biggest area of concern, which is why I think Environment Canada issued that tornado warning. Actually, speaking of that, we can go into the details here and look at get this to work. Come on. Maybe I have something on that's causing that. Okay, I'm just gonna look on my phone to see the warning details here. Bear with me for a moment. Okay, tornado location near Sturgeon River Provincial Park, moving southeast at 50 kilometers an hour. Locations impacted include Sturgeon River Provincial Park. I believe that was earlier that was issued, so it's probably in this area, I believe. Or is it up here? Anyways, that continues to track into Redwater, Martin River, Kenny, Otter, and eventually Temiskaming down here. And then North Bay, maybe. The storm is kind of tracking to the east. So we just got a new tornado warning that was just issued to the south, which makes sense because the storm is tracking into the North Bay region to the west. So West Nipissing, you just got a tornado warning. Yeah, I can see people talking about that in the comments. So yes. So those in North Bay probably got a tornado warning because they're right near the edge. You can see it right here. So those cell phone towers would definitely have triggered the alert ready due to the proximity of the warning. But North Bay isn't in the threat right now. We will have to see how that storm tracks first. It kind of wants to move south, but actually, now that I'm seeing it, the last few frames, it's definitely sinking more to the south, which we tend to see with these type of events. We saw with the one that affected Kingston, it was actually tracking pretty easterly before sinking southward right into Kingston. So we may see this, I think, in the North Bay too. And it could track a very similar path to this morning / early afternoon storm into Algonquin Park, Pembroke, Renfrew, and maybe the Ottawa Valley. We'll have to see if this will survive. And just to mention, Adam will hopefully be here later this evening, maybe in a few hours. He's currently on the road to Oakville, and he did bring his computer, so hopefully he will be able to stream later tonight. But in the meantime, I'll keep you updated and we'll keep watching these storms. I'm just going to step away for a minute because I have to go post about this new tornado warning that was just issued for the North Bay area. But I'm going to leave the stream up and I'll jump in once we have a new radar frame and we'll go through it to see the path it's taking and see who's in the path of it. So thank you for continuing to watch. I'll talk to you really soon.
Storm has passed, the time is now to go to bed. You can do it somehow. The storm is gone, and maybe it's not too long until you rest your head, get some sleep, try to dream of something sweet. Thunder's gone, rain is coming down. If you look up to the sky, you see things are clearing now. Everything is gonna be okay, even when it's not. All storms pass eventually. Know you have a lot. You got me, you got mom, got all the things that you've become. Me, you got mom, got a loving home where you're from. You got me, you got mom, so love your family. You only get one, only get one. Storm has passed, the time is now to go to bed. You can do it somehow. Storm is gone, maybe it's not too long until you rest your head and get some sleep. Try to dream of something sweet. Sleep just fine. Tonight, just fine. Tonight,
Hey everyone, Brennan back with another voiceover update as we continue to track the tornado warnings that were just issued for the Temagami area to the south. West Nipissing just got a tornado warning, and of course, people in North Bay would have also likely got it on their cell phone. If you're in North Bay, did you get it on your cell phone? Please let me know in the comments, because I believe you likely would have due to the proximity to the warning. But right now, North Bay doesn't have a risk until that storm gets there. It's still about, I would say, at least 30 minutes away, but it is dipping south, so North Bay will likely be affected by it. Yeah, I can see in the comments a lot of people are reporting that you did in North Bay. So North Bay proper isn't in the tornado warning currently, but if the storm maintains strength and its current projected path, it will likely affect North Bay. So we'll continue watching that. I'm just going to zoom in here and we'll look at the velocity scans to see what new, oh, you can really see it here just south of Camp Cochrane, heading into Martin River, Kenny, Otter, Ellesmere Village, Tomiko, and just to the north of West Nipissing. So if you're in this area, I'm going to draw it on here, if it will let me. Seems to be giving me grief today. Oh, it's probably because I'm using a different browser than what I'm usually using. Oh, I think I can do this. Yes, I can. So we'll draw a polygon just to give you an idea of the area that needs to be seeking shelter right this second. Of course, if you're in a tornado warning, please seek shelter and treat that seriously. But this area is showing the strongest rotation as it tracks south of Camp Cochrane, heading to Martin River. So if you're in Martin River, you need to be seeking shelter right now. That's showing a very strong signature on radar as it tracks towards Kenny, Ellesmere Village, Tomiko, Brooks Mills, and eventually to the north and the North Bay. There is, as you can see, I'll switch over to reflectivity here. While that area is the strongest concern when it comes to rotation, there is more to the storm to the south, tracking into West Nipissing. So even though you're technically probably going to get missed by the strongest rotation in West Nipissing, you're still going to get a storm because there's more building to the west here near Washagami, Markstay, Warren, Verner. So you're going to get a storm, but the strongest area of rotation is likely going to miss West Nipissing. We'll have to watch because these pop-up storms definitely have some interesting shape to them. So we will have to see if they start developing rotation, because as we can see with this storm that's tracking through right here, it's really robust and it has a very strong signature on radar. So I wouldn't be surprised if the other storms to the south start exhibiting those signs too. So right now, as I've said, Martin River is the most immediate concern right now. So we have a comment like, should anywhere in Parry Sound District be worried? Right now, no. Parry Sound looks fine, other than storms developing to the north around the Sudbury area. Those are going to sink southward and maybe affect Parry Sound, but there's no immediate tornado risk for Parry Sound. We'll continue watching that area, and I'm just going to clear the polygon here, and then we'll take a look at what's going on in eastern Ontario, and you can see in Quebec, we also have some storms. They're further up from the radar, so it's kind of hard to get a good look at what they're doing, but they're under a severe thunderstorm warning through western Quebec here just to the north of Petawawa, Pembroke, and we are seeing some development over Algonquin Park tracking into Petawawa and Pembroke. However, they don't seem to be surviving. There might be a cap in place here, which means it's preventing the storms from getting higher up in the atmosphere and taking full advantage of the ingredients. So they could be. That's something we usually see with these pop-up storms, so we'll have to keep watching. We're even seeing some development to the south here. You can see these like pop-up cells near Haliburton and Bancroft. So if you're trying to beat the heat and you're on the water, you should keep an eye on that. I wouldn't say they're a severe threat right now. We'll have to see how they develop. But lightning is certainly a possibility, and you do not want to be outside when there's lightning on the way. So keep an eye if you're in cottage country. Right now, there's no immediate risk, but we'll have to see what the storm cluster does as it sinks to the south. So we'll keep an eye on that, and I'm just going to look. Do we have a new frame? I think we do, maybe. Might be the earlier one. I'm too excited here with the new radar scans. I think this might be a new one, maybe, or it just came in before I was talking. Anyways, Martin River needs to be seeking shelter. I can't emphasize this enough. That's the main risk right now. Of course, if you're in the tornado warning, it's a huge area. So basically, if you're north of Temagami, you're not in the risk at all because you're just getting some rain up here. Basically, the risk is anywhere from Temagami to the south till Temiskaming into North Bay, West Nipissing. So we'll keep watching that. I'm going to go back into hybrid mode, but once we get a new frame, I'll jump back in and we'll go over it. So stay tuned. Thank you for continuing to watch. Hey everyone, Brennan here with another voiceover update as we continue to track these tornado-warned storms, tracking through the West Nipissing and eventually North Bay area, and we do have new radar data to go over. It's not looking too pretty when it comes to intensity. Again, Martin River, I hope everyone in Martin River is seeking shelter because the velocity signature on this is just truly horrific. If it's not producing a tornado, it's at least producing destructive wind gusts. So as you can see, it's currently over Martin River right now. So if anyone's in Martin River and wants to give us an update and it's safe to do so, please do so in the comments and let us know what you're experiencing, because this is looking quite the storm as it tracks to the north end of North Bay. The last few scans were a lot more horrific when it came to rotation. So you can see it it's still there, but it's very messy because this area has a lot of radar noise. As you can see, you look at it over Quebec, you can just see all these little high velocity values, and even up here you can see in the Temagami area, that's not rotation, that's just noise up there near Camp Wanapatita. I'm gonna butcher a lot of these names, so bear with me, and Temagami. But the main concern right now is to the south, just between West Nipissing and Martin River, as this storm, it seems to be taking more of a southerly turn in the last few scans, which isn't good for North Bay, because the storm is definitely going to affect North Bay, and you can see there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the North Bay area, and we are seeing more building to the west over Sudbury. So far, nothing too concerning over Sudbury. If you're in Sudbury, you're probably getting some rain, maybe some hail to the south of Sudbury. Here you can see the hail core over here near Renault, one up, and that will track to the southeast, and that will eventually track North Bay. What I am watching is these like isolated pockets to the south of the storm that are developing. We've seen this in the past that sometimes they can start rotating, and since they're isolated from the storm, they tend to be able to rotate more effectively, so we will have to see as it tracks into West Nipissing. So if you're in West Nipissing right now, you're getting some rain, probably some lightning, but the strongest portion of the storm is going to miss you to the north. So right now it's just south of Martin River that you can see the strongest velocity couplet here as it tracks into North Bay. So North Bay, as I said earlier, you likely got notified by the tornado warning. You aren't in a tornado warning unless you're in the West Nipissing area. But we will have to see if Environment Canada decides to continue the tornado warning to the east, which would put North Bay into it. So I'm continuing to watch that, and I'm just going to take a look to the south that we were watching those isolated storms popping up in eastern Ontario and central Ontario. We're not seeing anything concerning yet, but as you know, it's very hot right now, so there's a lot of instability in the atmosphere. So it wouldn't take much for these storms to go severe if they're able to establish themselves. And that's the big question for tonight that we will be watching. The environment is there. Actually, let me go look at the environment while we're speaking of that. I will turn on the SPC meso analysis, and we'll take a look at the supercell composite to see what the environment is like as these storms move. So as you can see, there is a fairly strong environment. I believe it's hard to tell. I believe that's a before down in around Barrie, Aurelia, Bracebridge, Muskoka. But again, storm development is questionable if it will be able to take advantage of that environment. The latest model data isn't that convincing when it comes to storm potential that far south. The most likelihood would be this complex continuing to track southeast into Algonquin Park and eventually Barry's Bay, Petawawa, Pembroke, maybe the Ottawa Valley. So we'll have to keep watching that. But of course, the immediate concern is the West Nipissing area just into North Bay. North Bay is going to see a storm soon. You may even be beginning to get some rain for the storms that are popping up ahead of the main line. So even if it's not that severe initially, please continue seeking shelter because the main storm is behind it. So it may not seem like anything is going on, and then you're caught off guard when the main storm rolls in. So I'm just seeing if I believe we have a new velocity scan. This is a bit better, I want to say. It's not as strong as it was earlier. I'm just going to turn off the meso analysis so we can get a better idea here. Yeah, it's not as you can see when it went through to the northwest of Martin River. That area was a lot stronger on velocity. In the last few scans, it has broken up a bit. That might indicate that it was a little elevated, and as it gets closer to the radar, as you can see, we're using the Brit radar. So as it gets closer, the radar shoots lower into the atmosphere so we can see closer to what the storm is actually doing on the ground compared to higher up. That's why the velocity scan is more messy the further north you go, because we're further away from the radar. Oh, I just want to say we had a comment here, Brennan. Can you define what you mean by better? So better as in less of a storm risk. Like it's not looking as intense here. So if I go back a few frames at 611 here, you can see as it goes into the Martin River area, it looks very bad, like very intense. And then a few scans later, like this is the latest scan, you can see the velocity isn't as strong. We're looking at wind gusts of around like 80 kilometers an hour being picked up on radar. It could be producing stronger on the ground. And we have a comment asking about what about Temiskaming shores? Look at Temiskaming. Yeah, you're fine in Temiskaming. You're just getting some rain right now. You're in the tornado warning, but these alert regions are so huge that Temiskaming shores was never really at threat. You can kind of see when I go back here. The main issue was to the south near Temagami as it heads into Temiskaming. And then Martin River. Yeah. Just continuing to watch that. That might be good news for North Bay because I'm not sure if Environment Canada will continue the tornado warning with it not looking as intense on radar. They may just stick with the severe thunderstorm warning because I'm not seeing anything visibly indicating rotation right now. It's just very messy, so it's kind of hard to tell. Even when it was back earlier, it was a good idea to be precautious and issue the tornado warning because this area is very far away from radar and it's hard to get a good look at it to understand what it's doing. It could have very well been producing a tornado here. We did put out a tornado potential notification on it, believe Dalton did earlier, so we had that out before the tornado warning. So it did have rotation evident on radar. It's just hard to tell up in this area because so far from radar, but it is starting to get closer to radar as we're using Brit. So continue watching that as it tracks into North Bay. I'm going to step away for a minute and we'll put back the music, but I will jump back in if I see anything concerning, or if as it approaches North Bay we see a tornado warning issued, I'll jump in and cover that. But for now, the main concern is if you're in the Crystal Falls area, Ellesmere Village, eventually Joco, Tomiko, Cooks Mills, Balsam Creek, those areas aren't under the tornado warning, but if Environment Canada does decide to continue extend the tornado warning to the east, those areas will become affected. So continue watching that. Just stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Hey everyone, Brendan here again with a new update. So as you can see, our tornado warnings have ended as we kind of expected because of velocity scans. We're getting a bit weaker. However, with that being said, there is this interesting pocket that just showed up near Tomiko, and it's been a few scans now. So you can see it was that same storm that went through Martin River here near Tomiko, near southeast of Ellesmere Village. So there was that scan that kind of looked a bit something. It's not too connected, but then the net scan, you can see here there's a strong signature with on the red side near Murlock, and then on the other side there's a strong green signature. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that goes tornado warned again after Environment Canada just dropped it, but it is fairly messy, so we will have to see. Right now, it's under severe thunderstorm warning as it continues to track to the southeast towards North Bay. When this storm is doing something, what are you doing over there, little guy? Nothing on velocity per se, but there is I believe that was the same one that we were talking about that had the small hail potential, but it's gotten an interesting signature here. There's nothing showing up on velocity that's particularly concerning here. Not seeing anything now. But this whole area under severe thunderstorm warning, you can kind of see how large Environment Canada's alert regions are, especially in northern Ontario, where Temiskaming Shores, all the way up to Temiskaming Shores, has a severe thunderstorm warning right now. But they're just getting some rain. Although there might be some stronger wind gusts. Let's see what that looks like. The northern radar that we normally use in near Timmins is currently out, and it's been out for a while, 24th, and it's not expected to be back until actually tomorrow, Canada Day. But that's not going to be any help today, so we're just stuck with using this radar to see what's happening near Temiskaming Shores, and for now it just looks like some rain up there. I'm not really seeing anything too concerning, even though it's under severe thunderstorm warning. As that storm that prompted the earlier tornado warning, and now that was downgraded to the severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, this comment. This is why we need storm targeted warnings. So Environment Canada was supposed to come out with that this year, but it's been delayed again. Adam's been in contact with them, and they're hopeful that they can get it figured out soon, and then they can launch it. But you want it to be perfect before it's put into operational use, because we're dealing with tornado warnings here, and it's important that everyone can get them. So we got to make sure they got to make sure the system is operating correctly before they put that into force. But for now, we're stuck with these huge alert regions. But that's why we have our targeted polygons, so we can kind of highlight the areas that are of most concern. But we do have a new, see a comment. So do I need to be worried about a tornado? I'm in North Bay. Right now, North Bay is getting a storm. It's hard to say what that storm is doing. The strongest portion of the storm may miss you to the north. So right now it's going towards Tomiko, Balsam Creek. It's tracking to the southeast, so you may just get clipped by this portion that's near Sturgeon Falls, Bucage. But right now there's no tornado risk for North Bay, like tornado warnings active right now. There is a severe thunderstorm warning, and you should take that seriously, because severe wind gusts can be just as damaging as tornadoes, and they happen on a wider scale. So if you're thinking the probability of getting hit by a tornado is technically lower than severe wind gusts because it's over a larger area. So you should still take that seriously, even though there probably isn't a tornado with the storm right now. Other than that area that looks a little suspicious near Moloch, Balsam Creek, Tamiko. No, I didn't get a warning update. That was something else. But that continues. As you can see, there's severe thunderstorm warning. So we will go over the details here so you can see what to expect. So Environment Canada is highlighting wind damaging 90 to 100 kilometers an hour, loony to ping pong ball size hail. So that's fairly sizable hail that could do some damage. And heavy rainfall, 15 to 50 millimeters. Locations in the path include Sturgeon Falls, Temiskaming, North Bay, Mattawa. So yeah, you're under severe thunderstorm warning, so you're gonna get a storm. I just had a request. Can you please look at Calgary, Alberta? We just got a big warning. Yes, I believe there is some severe thunderstorm warnings going on out in Alberta. We have them in the ticker above, but I'm just going to take a look. And yeah, Calgary did get a warning. Let's take a look. A bit, maybe some hail to the south end of Calgary. So Acmead, Deer Ridge, Cranston, Ridgeview, Heritage Point. So the south end of Calgary. So while the whole city of Calgary got a severe thunderstorm warning, let me just double check. I believe that is severe thunderstorm warning because it's blending with the air quality warning too. And then we have, I believe these are these severe thunderstorm warnings? Yes, they are. Up in northern Alberta, yeah, it could be some sizable hailers in northern Alberta right now between Slave Lake and Peace River. The strongest ones look to be near Salt Prairie, Leacaster, Peavine. That could be producing some decent sized hail. I believe this is a fairly rural area, so I'm not sure if there's anyone to experience the hail here, but in Salt Prairie, if that's the town that has people in it, they could definitely be getting some hail to the north end there. And we continue to see some pop-up storms in northern Alberta, and I'm just going to take a look around here. Yeah, we're seeing pop-up storms all over Alberta right now. There's only a couple severe thunderstorm warnings, though. Like the one that was just issued for Calgary, but I'm not too concerned about Calgary right now because that storm could be producing some hail. Actually, let's look at what the details say. Environment Canada meteorologists are tracking severe thunderstorm warning capable of producing strong wind gusts and up to quarter-size hail. So that's pretty standard for severe thunderstorm warnings. And I would agree with that. For the south end of Calgary, you're probably getting some decent-sized hail, probably quarter-size. Certainly nothing that Calgary isn't used to. You're certainly used to huge hail. But we'll continue to watch Calgary here. I'm just going to jump back over to Ontario. So we have some people saying they're getting the storm in North Bay, and yeah, it is starting to enter North Bay. I'm just seeing if we have a new scan here. Yeah, it's fairly messy, so it's hard to say what it's doing. Like, that area that I was concerned with continues to have a bit of signature on radar, but it might be noise. And, like, the storm mode is more linear, so unless we have some bookend vortexes, I would be questionable if there's any tornado risk right now for the North Bay area. At a minimum, it would probably be just strong wind gusts. But you should still take that seriously. We'll continue to watch that. The good news is it doesn't look as strong as it was when it was under the tornado warning. And it seems to be weakening a bit, which might be good news for those in Algonquin Park, Petawa, Petawawa, Pembroke, but we're also seeing more pop-up storms in eastern Ontario. So far, nothing has really established itself. We do know the environment is fairly strong with all this heat that's going on. So we will be watching that. I'm just looking around here to see if there's any storms popping up in the more hotter part of southern Ontario, because right now eastern Ontario is actually the coldest part of southern Ontario, because all the earlier severe activity helped suppress some of the daylight heating, so it's not as hot in the Ottawa area, which may help eliminate the severe threat a bit. But we'll continue to watch as that storm moves through North Bay. So right now, the main concern is Temiskaming to North Bay heading into Mattawa. So we'll continue to watch that. I'm going to step away for a few minutes just to update things, and I'll be back to provide more updates. Stay tuned.
Storm has passed. Time is now to go to bed. You can do it somehow. The storm is gone, and maybe it's not too long until you rest your head, get some sleep, try to dream of something sweet. Thunder's gone, rain is coming down. If you look up to the sky, you see things are clearing now. Everything is gonna be okay, even when it's not. All storms pass eventually. Know you have a lot. You got me, you got mom, got all the things that you've become. Me, you got mom, got a loving home where you're from. You got me, you got mom, so love your family. You only get one, only get one. Storm has passed. The time is now to go to bed. You can do it somehow. Storm is gone. Maybe it's not too long until you rest your head and get some sleep. Try to dream of something sweet. Sleep just fine. Tonight, gonna sleep just fine. Tonight, tonight.
Hey everyone, Brandon here, back with another voiceover update. I just want to jump in because something caught my eye east of North Bay here. We were kind of tracking and wondering if it was noise, but you can kind of see how it kind of started to hook a bit to the east of North Bay, tracking into Bonfield. And then when you look at velocity, something there. You can see right near Camp Chaplin, Songus, eventually tracking to Bonfield. And I know Bonfield got a hailstorm this morning. So you definitely don't want more severe weather today. So definitely the biggest concern with this storm is going through North Bay right now. How's it in North Bay? Love to get some comments from North Bay in the comments so we can see what people are experiencing right now. So North Bay section doesn't look as strong. The biggest concern here would be Camp Chaplin, Bonfield, East Ferris, eventually Calvin, maybe Mattawa eventually, although this seems to be tracking a lot more south than we were seeing earlier. Oh, I think we got a new scan. Let me take a look here. Okay, so that's good news in terms of tornado potential because it's not as strong as it was earlier. It may have been noise because this area is very messy. It's hard to tell what's happening, but the shape of it kind of drew my attention. You can kind of see how it's kind of disappeared from it. Just gonna check something here now. I thought I may have saw a little bit of a hook, but that area didn't have a hook. A rotation, so it can't be a hook. And just looking over here, not seeing anything with this storm tracking just south of West Nipissing right now. Just take a look. We're starting to see some interesting development near Petawawa, Pembroke. We'll have to keep a close eye on these because they're fairly isolated, so it wouldn't take much to have a brief spin up. But as I was saying earlier, we're questioning if these storms can survive. Obviously, the one in North Bay has been doing a lot lately, so it was tornado warned earlier. But the rest of the storms, we know there's a lot of environment here. But we don't know if these storms will be able to keep growing and take advantage of the environment. Yeah, so far that continues to be what we're watching in the North Bay area. We'll continue to watch that cluster as it tracks to the southeast. Eventually could affect Algonquin Park. As you can see, Environment Canada has extended the severe thunderstorm warning. I believe that was extended because it wasn't there before, into northern sections of southern Ontario. So Algonquin Park just got a severe thunderstorm warning. South River for this storm tracking to the south. Since it seems to be having more of a southerly component to it than it did earlier, it may have more of an impact on southern Ontario instead of going into Quebec. And that might affect the Ottawa region later tonight. I will take a look at the models once I jump off and see what they're showing. What's going on over here? Some development in northern Michigan over Lake Huron. Have to keep a close eye on those because, yeah, I don't think they're doing much. They're kind of like popping and fizzling out right away. Because we do have a strong environment in southern Ontario, but it's questionable if they will actually develop and be able to sustain themselves. I'm just going to take a look at our Alberta storms because we had a bit of a hailer in South Calgary that was warned for quarter-sized hail, south end of Calgary, but doesn't seem to be doing much. Flooding could certainly be a concern because it's not really moving much here, just sitting over that one area. And we're continuing to get some non-severe pop-ups so far in around the Edmonton area, Rocky Mountain House. Keep an eye on that. And we do have some severe thunderstorm warning storms to the east of Grand Prairie near Peace River, Slave Lake. They aren't looking as strong as they were earlier. You can see there was a fairly decent sized hail core that I talked about near Salt Prairie earlier today. But it doesn't seem like they're doing much other than hail. Doesn't seem like there's much of a tornado threat out here. So we'll keep an eye on those. I'm just going to jump back over to Ontario. And take another look at North Bay before I put back on the music. And I'll jump back into the background and take a look at the model data to see what the models are thinking in terms of what these storms are going to do this evening as it tracks in the Ottawa region. But right now, the main concern is Mattawa, North Bay, Bonfield. West Nipissing is getting some rain and storms right now, but the strongest portion of the storm is likely to track to the south and west Nipissing over, I believe that's Lake Nipissing. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, it is. So keep an eye on that. That could track into Resolute, Trout Creek, South River, Strong. We'll keep an eye on that. So for now, it's just a severe thunderstorm risk with large hail and strong wind gusts being the main threat. Oh, we just got a new radar update. I'm not seeing anything concerning right now. It's very messy, so there is different pockets, but generally I'm looking for something that aligns with the reflectivity and has an interesting shape to it because that can indicate there is actual rotation instead of it just being noise, radar noise. Because we are looking up high up in the storm because it's further away from the radar. This area is naturally very noisy when it comes to radar. So yeah, it continues into the Mattawa region, eventually Algonquin Park. So we'll continue watching that. I'm gonna switch back into hybrid mode, but stay tuned. I'll be back in a few minutes with another update.
Hi. How's everybody doing? I am in Oakville now, and one sec. I need to make some adjustments here. Hopefully you can all hear me. Let's see here. Properties. Advanced audio properties. There we go. All right, that's better. Okay. That's much, much better. There we go. All right, let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to move my head over here because I'm kind of off to the side. I can only stream until dinner time, which is like half an hour. So, and then I'll go eat dinner and then I'll come back after. And we'll continue in hybrid mode here. Sorry, folks, I'm away in Oakville right now, not in Barrie where I normally am. And let's see here. I just want to video capture. Let me take a look at that and make this smaller and smaller on that side. And then maybe move it over a bit. Something like that. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna see how that looks. I only have one screen at a time here. I need one of those, you know those like laptop screens where you like, it's like two screens so you can like slide and hook up to your laptop and then you have three screens. That would be optimal. I should totally do that. In the meantime, this is what we get. Okay, can you hear me? Change of scenery, yeah. An actual background, not a green screen. So I'm kind of in the hallway of the upper landing. So if you hear any noise in the background, that would be my family. We're all together here in Oakville. So I'm kind of in like a whisper mode. So my idea of the ASMR stream is kind of working out here because yeah, I'm kind of in whisper mode right now. Hold on, I'm going to connect with my iPad. I actually do have the iPad here, so I'll be able to see your comments. Power out North Bay. Yeah, I heard that North Bay was a 90-kilometer-an-hour wind gust, which is not great. So that's not great. Let's see here. I'm going to allow this. Stop camera mute. And I'm going to call this iPad. There we go. Enter studio. And I'm just going to use that just to see the comments. So this feedback. Okay. Should be able to mute that. It's muting entirely. It's kind of annoying. Why? How can I mute that? There's got to be a way. Let me see here. Settings. Audio. I've had microphone. Automatically adjust volume to 0. Check. No, it's still garbage. Oh well. That's all I got. So that's what we're gonna have to go with here. I don't know. It's too bad you can't straight up mute. How come you can't straight up mute this? That is brutal. It always goes back up. Why can't it stay muted? And is there a headphone jack in this? I don't think there is a headphone jack in this iPad, this old iPad. Or this actually is a newer iPad. Alien sounds, yeah. No, I might have to kill that. How can I do this? Why would it be feedbacking? I need to do some quick tech support. If it's muted. This is tricky. I really want to be able to see comments. I guess I'll just have to toggle back to comments. That sucks. All right, well, bye iPad. So I can't stand that feedback. It's driving me nuts.